So this is another case study over here. I have 7 of those people, and I want to show you what do I mean about the empty spaces. This is a patient who was treated by something which is called the Homeo block. It's a dental appliance. You can Google that. You will see how this looks like. And he is 70 years old. He actually was president of Dental Association. And he not necessarily he had missed this, that he didn't believe in those type of the treatments. It's everything evidence-based, it has to be quantifiable. But this is not quantifiable appliance. And this is him on the left side before treatment and 2 years later. At the age of 70, he went on appliance. And if you find his lecture on the YouTube. His name is Tom Colquitt, and he just gives all this to the details. This man over here, what's happened to him with this treatment. But I have a couple of pictures which shows you how his airway changed. The airway is empty space, and you see how the isthmus over here on this isthmus changed and how much he opened. But then if you look from the structural point of the view, look at his discs in the cervical spine, how collapsed they are. At the age of 72, how much they hydrated. Okay, this has changed the relationship. This has change of the position of the system, so you have a better function. And
what is this called?
Homeo block. The guy who developed this his name is Theodore Belfort, B-E-L-F-O-R-E. You can Google him.
Michael, do you have your mic on?
Pardon?
Did you turn your mic back on?
Yes. And then you can see in the frontal plane. But my show over here is nothing. If you listen to the Tom Colquitt, he will tell you 3 pages of symptoms what he had from the childhood and what changed over there. His entire testimony to changing autonomic nervous system. He just simply changed autonomic nervous system, and through the better space what he developed after 2 years, he supported his structure and he supported reciprocal alternate shift, so the system is able to right now resist the gravity, atmospheric pressure without the effort. And you can see in a transverse plane also how he changed, how the orientation of the cervical spine changed in relation to the cranium. And this is how much bone he grew. This is done on a very specific test called the conic 3D CT scan. And that is the newest machine for the diagnostic in the dentistry. And the red color it means that he grew up bone in this area at the age of 70. So I'll show you once again his picture before and after. The picture before is on the left, picture on the after is on the right. That is physiology. There's a network physiology. Homeo, like home, eo, H-O-E-O, block. Homeo block. H-O-M-E-O block. Okay, so thank you for letting me step out from my lecture. Source. Computer, yes. How do I go down? Good? Okay.
Mike,
yes.
who would prescribe a device like that?
Dentist.
Okay.
But the dentist has to know first what he's looking for. If they just look for treating the tooth, doesn't matter. If you go to the orthodontist and he wants to straighten your teeth, you're wasting your money. Okay? You have to go after cranium first. And that cranial untwisting or repositioning will create you a better relationship of those empty spaces and then give you better function.
Well, he was someone with sleep apnea.
Oh, for sure, yes.
Body knife.
Pardon?
Well, you mentioned the teeth, and I was thinking that wasn't.
Yeah, you should listen to the Tom Colquitt. He has you type, I think it's on the YouTube, AARD. Sorry for that, I'll tell you at once. Or maybe I'll tell you at the end. Okay? So we don't waste the time. Where's the clicker? Oh. Okay. So this is our network communication loop. before it was in the form of the circle. Now I just unwrap the circle and put a line in the form of lines over here. And what I really want to test, I want to test the spatial understanding, spatial coherence. And I want to test this from many different levels. I want to test this from the spatial perception challenge test. It means I will know where I am, mostly, so where I am. I want to test this from my comprehension of an understanding of the space through the integration capacity of those two receptors called eyes and coordination capacity. And then I want to see also the space, how I select the space and how I comprehend the space with the target, with the details. And then all together I want to see how I can how this understanding transfers to my gate or to the more advanced function of the system. Usually that's what most of the optometrists do. They check the fixation, movement, version, fusions for the binocularity. This doesn't have any relation to the system coherence. We're testing over here just one system which we're taking, extracting from the rest of the body, and we know where the system maybe is, but we don't have completely correlation how this relates to the structure, how this relates to the respiration, to the proprioception, and so on and so on. So if we see incoherent relationship with the space, I just wrote you over here what I observe usually with a patient. I observe the sense of loss and orientation in the space. I observe inability to select the area of attention with the head and trunk and search. I observe difficulty in understanding and recognizing one's position in the relation to object. I'm sorry, I have to swallow what I had. I'm done. Okay. To object in the environment. I observe altered transverse spatial proprioception with perceptual misalignment, altered orientation requiring center of mass compensation and lower extremities for directionality of movement, and this will cause insecurity, instability in attention, and often the search for visual attention must be aided by the auditory stimulus. So I see this in the patient constantly. They're searching with the entire body where they are. And for this, we designed a test called the Spatial Perception Challenge Test, which informs us about the position of the system in the space and possible deficiency and mismatch of the information between the space and between the ambient and how the subject relates to it. So it's the ambient and how the subject relates to the ambient. And it tells me about this body self-organization. All those tests are not specific to the one testing only. They practically, with the one test, you can test most of the system function. However, they are focused maybe on, this test will be more focused on this, where am I in the space? This is Marco Grassi over here in the middle picture, and I put this form of what we call the arrow test over here on a wall. We use for this test the prism, the 6 dioptry prism with the red filter. And person stays approximately 10 feet away from this arrow, and by challenging one eye, we are creating a split in the visual information, and we're duplicating the letters and numbers maybe close to the arrow tip. And now relationship between your two receptors will tell me where are you with each eye separately. Are you in esophoria or exophoria? And this will have a big implication for the spatial perception, because I want to know in a space where is Joanna.